Hey, I'm back with another video. It's 6:53 p.m. It is October 24th. I believe it is Tuesday. It is. Okay, I just had to make sure because, I've been in the house for so many days and I start thinking I don't know what day it is. So I wanted to come on here and make a video. I've been working on new content and, like I mentioned in my previous videos, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but all the downloads that I was getting, although some of them were rather good, some of the stuff was just like really, it's kind of a downer. Because I know that you guys had to deal with some stuff that you would rather not have dealt with, and I know that there's some of people who are rather traumatized by the entire thing, and I want to say that I do apologize, and I can feel that. Like last night I was up and I was just thinking, I was overthinking because, I started getting more of a clear picture. Believe me, I don't ask for it, because I would much rather think about, arranging content or doing something else or, focusing on something else. But, this was kind of a big deal. This whole issue is a really big deal. And it's like, there's something in me that just wants to unravel, and I did unravel it. Okay, I don't need to unravel anymore. But what I'm thinking about are the people who are affected by this, and I want to be respectful to everybody and not like mention certain things. I just think it's best to leave it as it is. But I know everybody's aware of what happened, and I also know the people who are involved, and I know the whole thing. I know everything. But I'm not wanting to like make a huge issue out of this other than going on with my life and forgetting it. It's just been like, oh my God. It's been like, oh my God, really. So anyway, some people flashed through my mind today. I'm not doing a celebrity shout out, not late, not right now, okay? It's not because I don't want to, and it's not that I don't have a list. It's just that this video is going to be kind of quick, and I am kind of working with my videos, so I really don't have the time to post it as a separate celebrity shout out, but I will do one. Don't think I'm forgetting anybody, but I have been thinking a lot about Nick Rhodes and Ringo Starr. Now, I think that they might be going through some stuff right now, so I hope that you guys are healing and getting yourselves together. Um, anyway, I mean, I know, I'm very careful about things that I say, and I think it's for everybody's benefit. But you all know what I'm talking about. So anyway, let me see what other dumb messages I got. I got that because I really want to do is now that I understand like who I really am, like blood wise. It's kind of like it's so interesting to me because I'm dealing with like literally me in a form way, in a way. It's just like it's really cool. Um, but when I think about his story and the little boy and how cute he was, and his father's being very brave, and the whole story, it's just like, oh my gosh, I cannot help but feel affection for this person. And the good part is that I'm related to him, and even better than that, I am possibly him. That's a trip. That's a trip. But anyway, um, so I kept thinking, the only how would I get a picture of him because I do want him in my home, right? And I kept thinking, okay, you could just print a picture out and put it on the wall. I'm like, no, no, that's terrible. So I was thinking maybe there might be some online shops that could like maybe like in Ethiopia, maybe they have they still honor and respect, previous uh, people who taken place of royalty or whatever. Maybe they might still have something like that. So I'm hoping that I can find something to hang on my wall because I definitely think it's cool when you can like connect, meditate, and then of course my mind's gonna be blown and probably keep me up, for a few nights. But still, I mean, it's worth pursuing. So anyway, I also got in my mind that my father. Now this is what I didn't understand about my dad. Okay, my dad, I knew that my grandmother's family came from England. that would be my father's side. Okay, I knew that they came from England, and I do believe that I'm getting in my message now that they too have royal ancestry, but we're not of the same bloodline. Okay, so I don't know exactly who my father was connected to or whatever. These are messages that I'm getting downloaded in my mind. Okay, now I do remember there were conversations. My dad told me about my grandmother, told me how they were free. Like they never were involved in the slavery. They weren't ever slaves. Okay, they were freeborns. Okay, so it interests me, and I remember, getting information about that, but it really made me think about, okay, so she possibly could have been involved in some sort of organization or something, like, I know my dad he was a Freemason or something, so yeah, that makes sense. And moving on. Anyway, so I know that you guys realize that I'm not burned out, okay? Because I'm going to tell you what, I really enjoy making content. My biggest issue is that I want to explain everything, but I want to do so in a very concise manner, and I also want to do it to where I don't think, or I don't want to feel like it's overloading people to where they get, where what's being said goes to waste. Like, you could go to like a class or whatever, and a lot of times the things that they're talking about, it's not really necessary. So I'm like, okay, what is necessary? What is important? Now, there's certain things that come to when you're dealing with things like uh, manifesting, or what some people will call magic, is that there are certain things that people do have to watch out for. So I do understand that there's certain forms of training or understanding certain principles. I think a lot of people go into um, this sort of thing with the hopes of like killing people, getting back at people, that sort of thing. I'm not really a dark person, but I do think that when you um, when you make petitions, or when you do perform these sort of like candle burnings or whatever, your goal is to protect your goal. Like, let's just say, for example, I want to buy a house. Okay, I want to get a house. Then I'm going to incorporate that in my statement, my petition, right? So this way, you're protecting your goal. So if somebody comes in that, or tries to interrupt that, it's going to go right back to them. It's going to mirror whatever harm they try to do to it. So it's not that, I sit there and like conjure up, things towards people on purpose, but you interfere with my space, or you try to take something that's mine, you're going to get fucked up. I mean, that's just the way it is, okay? And that's just how it is. I mean, but a lot of people go into it with those sort of ideas. That's what they want to do. This is what it is. I would say manifesting is for your self improvement. It's for your life. It's for improving your life, and to get and being able to navigate your way through, what a lot of people have to deal with. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I enjoy that sort of stuff, and I do enjoy teaching it, but I also think it's important to take what's important and leave the rest. I think a lot of those books that I remember reading when I was younger, it was too, I mean, something I didn't learn from them or anything or get anything out of it. It's just, I'm saying is, I don't see why you can't move forward or look at other sources of energy other than, like they would, like when you're talking about formulating energy or taking in energy, they're talking about, create a magic ball, or visualize a shining ball in your hand. Not everybody can do that, but I think some people can pretend. If you play like a pretend game, it seems like it's a lot easier to do. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, as I care about how I communicate when I'm teaching people, because I think it's important that people walk away with good skills and not just a bunch of, fluff and filler that they're never going to use. So anyway, um, yeah, and no, I'm not burned out. I'm just tired. And I think what's not draining me in a bad way, it's just that I have to know these messages. This is why they come on so strong, but I will say that it does at times, it's like, oh, that's horrible. This is horrible. And then I start asking more questions. And like I said, hours can go by with me just digging into stuff. And I don't want to dig into anything too deeply. I think I knew enough to disturb the fuck out of me for a very fucking long time. Very, very long time. Okay? It literally spun my fucking head around. And it's like, damn, you know. So I want to focus on happy things or just kind of move on from all of that. Another message. I know that Mickey Dolenz, and this message has come through my mind before. He wants to apologize, and really, I think I'm cool. You know, I think you're cool. I don't have any issues with you at all. You know, I would like to meet you guys, all of you guys in person in one day. I mean, somehow that'd be awesome. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I think what I'm trying to do I think I got attacked a lot because of this issue of religion. I have never struck up a fight with anybody for being a particular religion. I know that people are jumping on me, and I don't want to go too deeply into it. Some people feel threatened if you believe something that they don't. And a lot of times people want to feel secure. They want to feel comfortable in their world, and I fully respect that. You know, I think my reason for leaving the Christian religions is because it's not that I don't respect who Jesus is, because I think the idea of Jesus is a good model for everyone to follow, in a sense where he was very much into. Um, I hate to use the word God, you know, but he was very much into um, this higher power. Okay, into this higher power, and it was his main focus. It was everything that he did in life, you know what I mean? Not in a dogmatic way. You know how like you see these holy rollers where they just want to like, you know, they can't wait to bust out scripture on your ass, right? And it's always scriptures that suits them, you know, just specific things. But if you read the rest of the scriptures downward, there's some other bullshit that kind of explains that the first scriptures really didn't mean. You know what I'm talking about? People who want to use the Bible for their own game. You know what I mean? And it's not a game. To me, I take spirituality and the relationship with the Creator very seriously, very seriously, to where I don't think that it's a joke at all or to make light of it. You know, it's that much respect that I have. So but anyway, I think some people felt threatened because of me being who I am. Um, I have a very high IQ, and people would think that if I didn't believe in a higher being, then then I couldn't be a good person, and I could influence other people. My issue is with this whole thing is that I have never deliberately tried to influence people to see things my way. I was attacked, so in it was my only way of figure out what the hell's going on. A lot of times people do get targeted for their religion, and in this case, I was targeted for my religion, so I was standing up for myself. You know what I mean? And that goes. I'm actually standing up for a bunch of people who probably dealt with the same thing. Our relationship, our individual relationship with the Creator, without people trying to manipulate it and tell us how we're supposed to see it. I believe that there is a message for every single person in this world, and there is no, cookie cutter, whatever. That's not to say that people shouldn't gather and have, what do you call it, fellowship or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying is, I think what really bothered me growing up is the hypocrisy. Okay, it was the hypocrisy that I saw in people. So going back to the whole bringing it, talking about Jesus, it's not that I don't respect Jesus, because I do. I do respect the fact that he felt as though he had a divine mission, and he at times seems like, if you read the Bible, it seems like he really did have a kind of a struggle, because he was also a man at the same time. You know what I mean? But he completed his mission. I don't see anything offensive, wrong, or anything that I would debate about how Jesus lived or whatever. I have no problem with Jesus. I have the problem with people who claim to be Christian and do wicked things. That's what I have a problem with. Okay. And, a lot of people, they get very power hungry, and they can start veering off into directions. And a lot of people don't even know what the direction was in the first place. I can't tell you how many people I've met who claim to be members of the clergy and don't know shit about the Bible. it blows my fucking mind. And I'm like, okay, well then, what are you teaching? What is this for? Why are we doing what? It doesn't make sense to me. So anyway, I don't want to, go too much into the religious thing. I know this played a huge part in it. I knew there was a lot of tragic shit that went down, and it makes me sad because Maria, she's always concerned about people's souls. I am so weird, but you know what? It's a good word, I guess. But I can't help that. And the sad part is that they wanted me to change. They wanted me to not be who I was. I mean, really? I like who I am. I honestly wouldn't want to be. There's nothing wrong with what some people would call like the normal 52-year-old person. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is what I was given, and I feel very grateful. Even though there's times where, like, and even though there's times where, like, I'm going to tell you, like, my life can seem really fucked up. Like, when it comes to the work situation, the mobbing, for decades, okay? Decades. Um, the bullying in school or whatever, I wouldn't trade shit. And even though, like, my family, it was, okay, that part sucked. Okay, that part sucks really bad. But I wouldn't trade my dad in for anything in this world. If I had the chance to be raised by him again, you know what? I would. I love my father. I know that I do love my dad. I don't. I just do, and I'm very happy to say that I do. I know shit was not always good. You know what I mean? I know he might have done some things that he regretted. Everybody does. But I do remember him being, I believe he was a good man regardless. So, anyway, moving on. So, yeah, I want to teach other people to empower themselves, and also teach people how there is more to um, this world than they think. Because there is. And I think it's funny when, like, people think, they shut their kids up a lot when the kids are telling them that they see things, okay? And I know when I was a kid, I saw a lot of things, okay? And as I got older, I didn't realize that other people around me weren't as spiritually sensitive, so but I didn't realize, I started pulling in that was kind of a touchy subject by the time I got in my early 20s, because people started looking at me weird, like, what the fuck. But I remember telling people when I was younger about seeing, you know earth beings. And when I'm talking about earth beings, I'm talking about, what some people might call fairies. Although, like, they depict fairies as, like, I know this sounds so whacked out, right? But people say, okay, well, fairies are, they look like Tinkerbell or something. No, fairies are actually more like green and brownish colors. They mix in with the foliage. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm getting weird on you. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I've experienced things when I was really little, and a lot of kids do, and I think their parents sometimes program it out of them. It's not that they mean to. It's just the fact that, that's a very scary thing with if your kid walks around talking about stuff like that, because it could, number one, make them look insane, and people would want to have them institutionalized. Stuff like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, but kids, I think when kids are saying these things, that they're telling you the truth. I really do think a lot of the kids are telling the truth. And then I think it lasts up to a certain age. I would say, I didn't see the little fairy people um, until, well, actually, I stopped seeing the fairy people when I was about 6 or 7. I think that's usually the age where the kids stop having, like, that close of contact with those sort of realms. You know what I mean? Regularly. But yeah, when kids say that, I totally believe them. But anyway, oh yeah, okay. The other message I got is that there's online groups talking well about me, and I think that's really nice. I do appreciate that. Um, I always thought that people just fucking outright hated me. You know what I mean? And I kept thinking, what the hell? Like, what did I do? Like, I don't recall doing anything. I get it. Apparently people thought that I was I can't even say it. I don't know. It just, people thought I was wicked. People painted me out to be wicked. And it's funny because not at all. No, that was actually the other way around, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna get ahead and wrap up this video. I have been working on my content. I usually am in a more gabby mood, and I am kind of gabby, but not so gabby to where, you know, I just want to go on and on and on and on and on and on. Right? So anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this video, and I will be back with another video sometime later. Take care. Bye.